There is a point in leadership where the script runs out. The checklist is not complete, the data is not perfect, and the buy in is not unanimous. But guess what? You still have to make a call. Today, I want to talk about the audacity that it takes to lead without a script. Hey, hello, everyone. I am Natasha, and this is The Quiet Mic. This is where we talk about what it really looks like to lead with quiet authority. Not performing, not pretending, but just grounded, honest leadership that still gets things done, of course. Now, before we get into today's conversation, I want to share something with you about how quiet authority conversations is evolving. Now, for the last few months, I have been live every Thursday. If you have been here for any of those, I sincerely thank you. Okay. You have been a big part of me finding my voice in this format. Now, as the Quiet Mic grows, I want to make sure that you have content that you can come back to, you can send to your teams, and actually use in real situations. So, I'm shifting the format just a little bit. Okay. Here's what it's going to look like going forward. You will still get a new episode from me every Thursday. Okay. That part is not changing. Most weeks, that Thursday episode will be a focused, recorded conversation where you can watch it on your own time, rewatch it if you need to, and you can share with other quiet leaders who need it. Okay. But once a month, that Thursday will be a live session like it is today. That is where we will get this real time energy, this we're all in a room together feeling. Okay. And then at that, I can speak directly to what you're seeing in your own leadership. So I am moving from a weekly live to weekly episodes plus a monthly Quiet Authority live session. It's not to do less, but it's to go deeper on each topic and give you more ways to engage with the ideas. All right. All right. Now, let's get into why we're really here today. I want to be real with you. Okay. A lot of quiet leaders are waiting for a script that is never coming. Okay. And when I say script, I am not talking about literal words on a page. What I am talking about are um, those feelings that you need someone to tell you exactly what to say, exactly what to do, and exactly how it's going to turn out before you're even willing to move. Okay. What ends up happening with that thought is that you wait for more information, you wait for more approval, and you wait for more reassurance of yourself. So then you end up telling yourself, okay, once I know for sure, then I'm going to speak up. Or once I have all the data, then I'll make the call. Or once everyone else is on board, then I will lead. Those are the type of scripts that I'm referring to. Okay. Here's the thing, leadership doesn't come with that kind of script. Okay. You will not get every line in advance. So today, I want to walk you through three truths about leadership um, when it comes to working without a script. Now, as we go, I want you to pay attention to where you see yourself. You might want to grab a pen and notebook for this one. It's not for me, but it's for you. Okay. So go ahead, get that, and let's get into it. Truth number one, you're waiting on a level of certainty that just doesn't exist. Okay. I wanted to get that out the way. First and foremost, you're waiting on a level of certainty that just doesn't exist, friend. It doesn't. So let that sit for a second. Okay. Quiet leaders are usually very thorough to a fault. Okay. Myself included. You like to be prepared. You like to know what you're walking into. You care so much about getting things right. Now, don't get me wrong, that is a huge strength until it becomes a hiding place, okay? Because here's what's going to happen. You tell yourself, I'm just being careful, or I'm just doing more research, or I'm just trying to get it right, okay? But underneath all of that, here's what's really going on. I am scared to be the one that's wrong, or I'm scared to be the one person that people look at if this doesn't work out. Okay. So then what happens? You keep waiting for this imaginary moment where you feel 100% sure. Let me say this very plainly. You almost never get 100% in real leadership. Let me say that again for the people in the back. You will almost never get 100% in real leadership, okay? Now, you get what you know right now. So you get the responsibility that sits in your lap. You get a team that still needs direction. Meanwhile, decisions are still being made, okay? They are just being made by people that are willing to move with incomplete information, okay? So you think by moving in that way that you're avoiding risk by waiting, of course. But what you're actually doing is a different kind of risk. You're risking being invisible and you're risking being seen as not ready. Okay. Now, all of that just because you're willing, you're scared to move without a script. So let me just ask you this. I want to know where I want you to ask yourself this first of all. Where in your work or your business are you waiting for 100% certainty when you only need 70% to actually move forward? Yep. Not being perfect, nothing is guaranteed, just enough to say, I know what I need to know to take the next step. Think about that. Okay. Because once you see where you have been waiting for a certainty that doesn't exist, the next question is usually, so, how do I make sure I'm not being reckless? Okay. Good question. That takes us to the second truth. Truth number two, there's a difference between being reckless and leading with enough information. Okay. There's a difference. Now, some of you here lead without a script and your brain jumps straight to chaos. Okay. You might picture people speaking without thinking. You might picture making snap decisions or ignoring the impact. If that is what you hear, there's no wonder why you pull back. But that is not what I'm talking about. Okay, I want to be clear. That's not what I'm talking about. You can be thoughtful and decisive at the same time. Okay, you see, leading with enough information might look like this. Okay, you still do your homework, you still ask the right questions, and you still look at the impact on your team, on your clients, or your business. But, but you recognize there's a point that more information will not make the decision better. It will only delay the decision from happening. Okay. Now, let me give you some language here because this is where a lot of quiet leaders feel stuck. Okay. You listening? Come closer. Leading with enough information might look like this. Here's what we know so far. Okay. It might look like you saying that. Or here's what we don't know yet. Okay. Or based on that, here's the call I'm making. Or it could even sound like if we learn something new, we'll adjust. Okay. Now, that's not winging it, it's not being careless. That is responsible leadership in the real world. Okay. You see, perfection is not, it is not the standard for leadership. A lot of people think it is, but it's not. But ownership is. You're not being asked to know everything. You're being asked to own the next step. And for a quiet leader, the audacity is not being loud. Know that it is not being loud. Okay. The audacity isn't saying, I have enough to move. Um, and standing in that, even if your voice shakes a little bit, because it just might, but it's okay. Okay. So think about this. Where have you been doing endless research, endless tweaking, endless revising when you really know what you need to do, and all that is to decide. Okay. Now, once you accept that you will not get a full script because it's not going to happen and you don't need one, the next question becomes, okay, so what do I need lead from? If I don't have every line, every answer, every scenario mapped out, what am I standing on? Well, that leads us to the third truth. Okay. Truth number three, you already have more to lead from than you think. You already have more than you think. When you don't have a script, it's easy to feel empty handed. Okay. You start to think, if I don't have their words, if I don't have their style, if I don't have their confidence, then I can't lead. Okay. I'm here to tell you that's not true. It's not. You already have a few things that matter more than a script. You have your values, you know the kind of leader that you are trying to be, even if you have not said it out loud yet. You already know it's in you. You have your responsibility, you know what you're accountable for, the work, you have that, you have the people, you have the outcomes that have your name on them. Okay. You have the facts that are in front of you right now. And all of those things are enough. You don't have the fear story in your head. Okay. Not the worst case scenario that your anxiety is playing around in the background. Okay. None of that. Okay. The actual facts are what matter. Those three things alone are enough to lead from. So, leading without a script might sound like this. Okay. You know me, I'm about giving you some examples. It might sound like, given what we know right now, this is the direction that we're going, or this is why it matters, or this is what I need from you next. Okay. You notice that none of that requires you to turn into someone else. Okay. Notice that. You don't have to become the loudest person in the room. Okay. You don't have to perform, but, but, you do have to be willing to be seen as the one that made the call. Okay. Understand this: quiet leadership is not the absence of decisions, because that's inevitable. You're going to have to make a decision. Quiet leadership is the presence of decisions made with intention. So you can be calm and still be clear. You can be soft spoken and still be decisive. The question is not, do I sound like them? The question is, am I willing to lead with what I already know? Okay. That's the real question. Now, I want to leave you with a few sentences, four of them to be exact, that you can actually use when you feel like you don't have a script. Okay. So, this is the part where I said you may need a pen and a notebook. Okay. So, go ahead, get that. We're going right now. Okay. Think of this as training wheels while you build your own voice. Okay. So, you can write them down and make them your own. All right. Ready, set, here we go. Sentence number one: given what we know right now, here's the call I'm making. Okay. Number two: this may evolve as we learn more, but this is our next step. Okay. Number three: I don't have every answer yet, but this is the direction I believe is right based on what we know. And number four: for now, we're going to move forward with this plan and we will adjust if new information comes in. Okay. Now, you can say those quietly. You don't have to shout, but know this: they carry weight. They tell people I'm present. They tell people I'm paying attention and that I'm willing to lead even without a full script. Okay. That is what your team, your clients, and your business actually need from you. Okay. Now, as we start to land this, because we're landing, I never be here before you long, I want you to sit with one question. Where in your life or your work have you been waiting for a script that no one is ever going to hand you? Is it a decision about your team? Is it a conversation that you've been avoiding with your manager? Um, is it a move that you need to make in your business or your career? Okay. I want you to pick one, just one, not 10, just one. Okay. And I want you to ask yourself, what do I already know right now, right here, right now? What am I responsible for? Okay. What are the actual facts that are in front of me right here, right now? Then I want you to practice one quiet, audacious, I'm going to call it audacious step this week. Maybe it's sending the email. Maybe it's calling the meeting. Okay. Maybe it's saying, here's the call that I'm making. Okay. And letting the room feel that. You don't have to change who you are to do that. You just have to stop pretending that you don't know enough to lead. That's it, right? I know I made that very simple, but it really is not that hard. Now, if this conversation spoke to you, I would love for you to stay connected. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the Quiet Mike Official, and share it with another quiet leader who needs this reminder. Okay. Now, if you're watching with us today on LinkedIn, make sure you share this live and connect with me if you saw yourself in anything that I said today. Okay. Now, going forward, you will still see a new episode from me every Thursday. Okay. Again, that's not changing. Most weeks, it will be a focused recorded episode that you can watch in your own time and pass along to others. Once a month, we will be live like this so that you can walk through real situations together in real time. Okay. I invite you to stay connected here, friend. I invite you because this is where we're going to talk about what it really looks like to lead and grow without leaving yourself behind. Okay. With that said, remember, the quiet ones move the room. So let your quiet speak loud. Until next time, bye. See you later.